Hey guys, what is up? It's B, and today we're going to be talking about the Mandela Effect. So, you may or may not have heard of it. It's like a type of conspiracy theory. I heard about it probably 3 or 4 years ago, whenever it first started coming out about Nelson Mandela. So, this stems from Nelson Mandela himself. I actually heard about it from my mother-in-law, and she told me that she thought that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, and apparently a lot of people do. They remember like seeing his funeral on TV and stuff like that, but it never actually happened. He got released from prison, and he died in 2013. So that's just like where this stems from, and apparently, some people think that we're like slipping between dimensions, or there's like another reality that different people are living in where things happen, or basically like a bunch of people remember things that never happened, a big group of people. So we're just going to go over a few of them that I think are pretty crazy. You might have already heard of some of these if you have heard the Mandela Effect. They're pretty crazy. I'll probably do a part 2 to this video because there's just like so many. But so the first one I'm going to talk about is The Wizard of Oz. So I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz. Like, I loved The Wizard of Oz. I watched it constantly, over and over and over, whenever I was growing up. So the first one is when she first, lands after the tornado. I remember her saying, "Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." Well, you may remember that too, but she never said that. What she actually says is, "Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore," which is weird because I don't remember that at all. And apparently, she never said, "I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." That never happened. So, and then also in The Wizard of Oz, when the Wicked Witch is in her tower and she's trying to go after Dorothy, and she sends her flying monkeys out the window. A lot of people remember her saying, "Fly, my pretties, fly." Well, never said that. She actually just says, "Fly, fly, fly." And I don't remember. I mean, to me, I think I remember her saying, "Fly, fly, fly." But there's a group of people out there that thinks that she says, "Fly, my pretty." Maybe that's because she says, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too." I think, if I remember that, I think that's what she said. So maybe like we're just getting it mixed up. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. So the next one is Alice in Wonderland, and like I used to watch this too constantly. These were like my shows, and maybe that's why I'm like totally into conspiracy theories and stuff, because I watched The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is, yeah, it's awesome. But I've watched it since I was a kid up until I'm an adult. Like, I watch it with my kids. So whenever she goes into the forest, Alice, and she sees the Cheshire Cat for the first time, and he's trying to tell her which direction to go, and she says, "Well, I don't want to go down the path where there's mad people." And he starts to kind of chuckle, and he says, "We're all mad here." So laugh. Well, that never happened. He never said that. He actually said, "Most everyone is mad here. Ha ha ha." Yeah, I don't remember that at all. But that, the first part, "we're all mad here," never happened. And it's crazy because like if you go on Pinterest or on the internet, you can literally look up "we're all mad here, Alice in Wonderland," and there's tons that you can find a lot of things that show him saying, "we're all mad here." Apparently, that never happened. That was never said in the movie. So that's kind of crazy. Let me know what you remember. So the next one is Jaws. I've watched Jaws once again, several times. Like, I've watched this in the past month or so. My daughter loves the Jaws movie. We've watched The Meg, and she wants to watch all the Jaws movies, so we've watched all those. And there's a part in the movie, where he says, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." Never said that. He said, "You're gonna need a bigger boat." And like I said, like, I've watched this movie within the past month too, like several times, and why would he say you're gonna need a bigger boat? Like, they're on the boat together. So that doesn't even make sense, but apparently it's you're gonna need a bigger boat, not we're gonna need a bigger boat. So that's a little weird too. Okay, this one like blows my mind. And it's funny. Okay, so there's a movie, you've probably heard of this, like I said, if you know anything, but it's the movie Shazam with Sinbad, right? Apparently that never existed. There's not a movie called Shazam with Sinbad in it. And you can look up Sinbad, and he makes jokes about it. But there was never a movie. And when I first saw this, I was like, there's no way, because I had that movie as a kid. Like, I grew up in the early 90s, and I had that movie as a kid. And so I texted my mom, and I said, hey, do you remember that movie called Shazam with Sinbad? And she was like, yeah, I remember. I used to watch all the time. And I was like, yeah, that never happened. There was never a movie called Shazam with Sinbad. And she was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I remember you had it. And yeah, so that's super crazy. So the next one, this is going to be the last one for now. And like I said, I'm probably going to do a part 2. This was just like a quick little video that I wanted to do because, like I said, some of these are just mind-blowing. But the last one is Star Wars. I'm sure everybody has seen Star Wars a billion times, and if you haven't, I don't know why. So whenever they're fighting, like at the end, he doesn't actually say, Luke, I'm your father. He doesn't say that at all. He says, no, I'm your father. Which is crazy because I have a son named Luke, and my dad is like super sci-fi, into all that stuff. Like, he used to watch Star Trek and everything else, so he's seen Star Wars, and he always jokes like, Luke, I am your father. You know, he plays around and says that, but that was never said. Never said at all. He says, no, I'm your father. That's just crazy. So, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. What you remember from any of these, and if you have any more like crazy ones that you want me to like dig a little deeper into, I totally will. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to subscribe, that would be great, and leave a comment. But I will see y'all next time.